Okay, so I was telling you that ranged formation can be really strange. Okay, this is what's supposed to happen. Ranged is supposed to be up front with infantry behind it, cavalry behind that, and siege in the back. Now, if you're attacking somebody or defending your own troops on a camp, awesome. Alright, if you're defending your castle with ranged formation, this is what happens. But if you're attacking another player's castle and the wall is involved, you do not usually get into range formation unless you take the wall down on the first shot. So here's what happens, alright? Your range starts out somewhere around like here, where you see my mouse. The infantry and cavalry are in the back. Your range take a shot at the wall, and if the wall falls instantly on the first shot, okay, you end up in this formation right here. If your wall does not fall down on the first shot, I will show you exactly what happens. Now watch. The wall doesn't fall on the first shot. It almost did, but not quite. The infantry and the cavalry run past the ranged, and we go into an infantry formation. So infantry are up front, cavalry is behind that, and ranged are in the back. Now I know I told you that the replays are not always accurate, but if I look at the battle report, look at what was wounded. Our infantry was wounded. Our infantry was wounded. Our infantry was wounded. Our ranged was not. That means our range did not end up on the front line like it was supposed to. So if you don't take that wall down very first hit, you go into an infantry formation. Now if you don't send infantry, your cavalry will be on the front line. But range formation is weird if there's a wall involved and you're the attacker. In any other situation, your range will be on the front line. But if you're the attacker, and you don't take that wall down instantly, you go into that formation. Okay, which is very strange. So you gotta be really careful when you're attacking in range formation, or you'll end up in actual infantry formation or a cavalry formation if you didn't send infantry. Now there's one other really strange thing about ranged. If you send only ranged and or siege, but you don't send any infantry or cavalry at all, this is what happens. Watch this. The enemies charge you. The enemy's infantry and cavalry will come out from behind the wall. When the wall falls, the enemy's ranged will come out. But you will not attack the enemy's troops until that wall goes down. So if it takes you a long time to get through the enemy's wall, that infantry and cavalry that just charge you will sit there and they will beat on you until that wall falls, and only then will you start to attack them. So if you can take the wall down right away, this is great if you want to pull the enemies, like if you're attacking a player or a dark nest that has only cavalry and ranged, well, you want your ranged to counter their cavalry. So if you do this, sending only ranged, it'll pull their cavalry out so you can counter it. Your front line will counter theirs. But if they have infantry and cavalry, this will bring their infantry out on the front line, and infantry counters ranged. So you don't want that to happen. You only want to send full ranged if the enemy only has cavalry and or ranged. If they have infantry, you do not want to send all ranged, or this is what will happen, and you will get beat up. So I think that covers all the weirdness of ranged, okay? I don't understand why they make it like this, but that is what they did. So unfortunately, range is very strange compared to all the other troop formations. So another rundown of this one more time. If you use range formation to defend or attack when you're on a camp, your ranged is on the front line. When defending your castle, your ranged is on the front line. When attacking another castle, if you do not take the wall down instantly, you go into an infantry formation. And that's freaking weird for some reason. And if you only send nothing but range troops, the enemy's infantry and or cavalry will charge you from behind the wall, and the enemy's range will stay in the rear. This is great if the enemy only has cavalry and range, and you want to make sure that cavalry ends up on the front lines so your ranged can counter them. Okay, so ranged is very strange. Ranged is strange. So that's what happens. Alrighty, I'm out.